Hello, welcome to the business news this afternoon. We've just heard in the last few hours that big technology companies face paying higher tax in the European Union. The European Commission has said that companies with significant online revenues should pay a 3% tax on turnover for various online services. It will impact the likes of Facebook and Google. Their global revenues are around £700 million and above. Well, joining me now is Chris Southworth, Secretary General of the International Chambers of Commerce. Thank you very much for joining us. First of all, your initial thoughts on this ruling?
Well, I think the most important thing with concerning tax is that the rules that apply are consistent. They're transparent across all sectors, not to be picking on specific companies and specific sectors. Nobody disputes that there is a need to look at how tax is treated within the digital economy. But we need to do that at a global approach, not just an EU approach. And whatever the EU is doing needs to be aligned to the OECD, which has just launched its report on tax rules across 100 countries. So the EU needs to align to that.
Okay, so do you think then all companies of all sizes should be taxed the same amount? It should be uniform?
Not necessarily, but it does need to be fair and transparent. I don't think companies would dispute that.
OK, I mean, certain countries aren't too happy about this in the European Union. Ireland has warned that the proposals may not yield as much tax. Do you agree with that?
Well, different countries have different tax rules. That's part of the problem and challenges for business too, is too many tax jurisdictions doing different things. So again, it's back to consistency. And that's a matter, in terms of Ireland, it's a matter for the EU to discuss how it wants to treat tax internally within the EU single market.
But some countries feel that their tax benefits give it a competitive edge. Do you think it might be a bit unfair to have a blanket ban?
Well, tax clearly is a key decision maker when it comes to making these investment decisions for companies worldwide. But again, it's back to, in Ireland's case, it's for the EU to decide with Ireland as to what's right, and for the Irish government to decide what's right for its own economy.
And in terms of a wider rule, you spoke about how it needs to be kind of globally implemented. Do you think that it's sort of something that maybe the EU needs to take into consideration how tax is dealt with, say, in the US and other countries as well?
Absolutely, and particularly in relation to the digital economy. The digital economy is absolutely global. It's a classic area of policy that needs a global approach, not a national or regional approach. One of the biggest challenges that companies have right now is they're operating on a global scale, increasingly in free data movement and movement of operations, services and goods across borders in a digital format. The big question is how and where should they be taxed and based on what set of rules. It just needs to be transparent, fair and consistent for everybody.
OK, Chris Southworth, Secretary General for the International Chambers of Commerce, thank you very much.